So we heard all the challenges which we have now in the existing systems. And then I think from the morning we have been hearing about digital transformation, and it almost looks inevitable that with all the change which is happening in the markets, I think we have come to an inflection point where we have to bite the bullet. And but of course, there has been a lot of noise around it, a lot of marketing and a lot of false expectation settings which have happened. In fact, when we say DT, we keep wondering what is it. So today, based on the way it has been marketed, when we say DT, it is digital technologies, which is not true actually. So when we go to the customers, digital DT or digital transformation is actually doubling your top line. So it's profitability or increasing your business growth. And then when we actually talk about actual digital transformation, it is more about how do we really get the data to all the layers of automation. So it is more about digital data transparency. It's not just for users, but also across the different layers of system, the data has to be made available. So these are all some of the essentials for us to really go and make this digital transformation a truth. And for that, we have actually been enabled with a lot of Industry 4.0 technologies, which have tried to solve these problems. So in this, probably I'll just try to put a perspective on how the different Industry 4.0 technologies are enabling us to address some of these challenges which Mr. Divyangji just mentioned in terms of data connectivity, data accessibility, data security, and then all these problems which are there. So Industry 4.0 actually has given us, has enabled with technologies which has really flattened the ISA 95 architecture. So we are all wired from last 2-3 decades to see the entire industrial automation in this pyramid structure. And somehow we all feel the data has to flow from field devices to your controllers, and then from there to the operation systems. It can be MES or it can be SCADAs, historians, and then this data has to again get accessible to your ERP systems. So this is how probably we are all wired to, and we see that, and this has been practiced actually, and for various reasons, knowing that whatever we do with data in process or discrete, it's very critical, and it can actually, if anything which is not managed right, can create a lot of damage to both in terms of safety or in terms of environment. So therefore, we have been following this practice. But Industry 4.0 has really given us a lot of levers where we have to start seeing this entire pyramid like a circle now. Like the data can flow from your sensor to your IoT platform, need not have to go through your PLCs or through your controllers. And then there are technologies which have come in. Of course, when we go to process plants, we do see multi-generation systems, and that is truth because these plants have a very long life cycle, and automation systems have a 20-30 years of life system. So we definitely see legacy systems. So there are, again, there are some retrofit arrangements of edges, different type of, some arrangement has to be made to collect the data. But yes, it needs an additional effort. But the new generation systems come with IoT-enabled technologies with good connectivity where we can really pull the data out. So in that way, the IoT technology has helped us to collect the data from the different systems, be it sensors, controllers, SCADA, historians, all this. And then, as long as trying to take this data to the application layer, we again come across different scenarios, like if we go to an oil and gas upstreams, we have to transport this data over across remote sites or wireless networks, or if it is in inside a plant, of course, there are again long networks where we have to pass through this data. So we have good technologies from 5G, LoRa, and 4G, SATCOMs, which have today matured enough to actually transport this data. And then there are also technologies which help to handle any inconsistency, or I would say uncertainty in this communication channels. Like for example, if you have any breakage in your communication, then there is technology to store that data and then push it up when the networks come in. So all these are enablements which are happening through the technologies which are now available for Industry 4.0, so that we can get the data to the right point, right time, to the right people. And then of course, the other challenge is on, I think, about how do we really protect the IP part of it, or some engineering which you have already done. So today, again, with a lot of technologies in terms of containerization, we can really deploy applications on containers. We can keep some older applications. We can deploy new applications on containers. And this has given a lot of flexibility for us to incrementally scale the system. So which was probably, without these technologies in the past, if you have to add a new application to your system or to a software, you have to really install that again. Like you have to take back the old software, put a new software, or if you have to put a new I/O into your controller, you have to look for a spare slot in your chassis and then put an I/O module. So now I think we have a lot of flexibility where you can take this data through probably some edge devices or through some smart I/Os, which can be still taken without disturbing the PLC or the controller DCS systems. So these are some enablements which have happened from Industry 4.0. And then when it comes to scalability at an application layer, cloud provides a lot of flexibility, a lot of scalability, and technologies like OPC gives a lot of meaning to the data what we are collecting from different things or different systems with all the security and the information model which is built into it. And therefore, when this data reaches out to your application platforms, and when they are hosted on cloud, or it can be even in on-prem servers, it gives the new technologies gives us a provision to scale these and then make provisions for future expansions, manage the performance, and knowing that these type of process industries, we need a lot of reliability. In fact, more than technology, people really look for how robust our applications are and how resilient, if there is some breakdown, how quickly the system comes back. So these are some key parameters which really decide these functions, and this is where we see that our Industry 4.0 technologies have really come in handy to solve these problems. And then when we actually talk about data becoming very transparent and not going through the hierarchy, can flow all over the layers, which we represent in the right side of the chart, then the question will come on the data security part. And of course, legacy systems did not have a design, security by design. So we have to use, and of course, we have been traditionally using firewalls or some protections through the segmentations or micro segmentations. So in that way, we have been managing our data security. But today, we have new technologies which have come in cyber like data diodes, zero trust compliance. And then there are various other cyber technologies which are coming in handy, which can really make sure that the level of security we need when the data gets transported from different layers of this automation are ensured. Because it's very essential and there cannot be any compromise on the data part of it. So this is how we see that the technologies are coming in to solve these problems, to make a digital transformation a reality. So, and as I speak about technologies, again, knowing process industry is generally not going for any technology which is not backed up by the standards. So we probably my friend Praveen will talk about what are those standards which are actually supporting these technologies, so that whatever solutions we are building are robust, resilient, reliable for our end customers to trust them and use them. So I will just hand over to Praveen to talk about the standards which are driving these technologies.